Hello everyone, this is Daniel with fitnessblender.com. Today we have a HIIT and strength training workout for you. We're going to be focusing a little bit more on the upper body with the strength training and a little bit more on the lower body with the HIIT. We have your warm-up and cool down included, so you don't need to add anything else to this. You will need a set of dumbbells, and if you have an exercise bench, definitely you want to use that, but if you don't have one, it's not necessary. So let's go ahead and get started with that warm-up. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to be doing each one of these exercises for 30 seconds apiece, starting off with an arm cross side step. Just going to be nice and slow, stepping left to right, arms come across. So when you're off to the side, those arms are across in front. As you step across, arms are out wide. It's nice and slow, stretching at each point. So a little extra stretch when they're in front, and a little extra stretch when you're stretching back across behind you. Make sure you have a different arm on top each time. Just keep those lungs open, no holding your breath. Moving to torso circles next. So keep those hips straight up and down. You're just going to round at that lower back. Roll around to the back, pause, and back around in front. Over the other side, pause, back around. Just keep those hips straight up and down. Remember, don't hinge forward. It's just around that torso. Getting my circles mixed up here a little bit. And we're doing a toe touch sweep next, so kind of a similar motion, but this time hinging at those hips, down to one foot, sweep across, up, pause, lean back just a little bit, stretch out that torso, and off to the other side, and stretch. Make sure you're keeping those legs pretty much locked out. Very, very slight bend in that knee. Just sweeping back and forth, trying to stretch out those hamstrings. And stand up nice and straight tall. We're going to do arm circles next, so arms out. Start with it nice and small, moving forward. We're going to switch directions, so go backwards. Still keeping it small. And then we're going to start increasing the size of that circle. And switch directions. Nice big circle moving forward. Moving off to a high knee march. So knees come up. Keep it slow. The key is to try to get as much range of motion as you can, not necessarily to go fast. We're just doing a warm up. So just stretch it as much as you can. Get those muscles warmed up. Make sure you're keeping everything under control. Lungs open. Doing a squatting push-pull next. So squat down as you push out. Stand up as you pull back in. Make sure you have that back nice and flat. Just because we're not using weight doesn't mean you shouldn't use nice clean form for that squat. So exhale, press out. Inhale. Pull back in, exhale, push out, inhale, pull back in. Really work against yourself to warm those muscles up. And we're going to switch to a warrior lunge. So feet about double shoulder width apart. Turn one foot off to the side, hands up. You're going to lunge out on one side. Come up to the center, bring those hands up, and then same thing right back out on the same side. We're going to stick on one side for this one. Try to get as deep as you can, as deep as is comfortable on that hip and that knee. Keeping that rear leg, that back leg nice and straight. We're going to switch sides, the same thing, going to the opposite side. So turn that opposite foot out. Arms go parallel to the ground as you lunge out to the deepest part you can go comfortably. Then bring those hands back up to center as you straighten that leg back out. Nice and slow. Under control. Get a nice deep lunge, as deep as you can control comfortably. We're going to do a boxer shuffle next. Bring those feet back together. Come along the ball of those toes. Just nice and slow, shifting your weight back and forth, left to right. We're going to move into jumping jacks after this one. Just start trying to work those toes, those calves, warm up those ankles just a little bit. Should feel your respiration rate increase, your breathing rate increase, as well as might be feeling a little bit warmer. All right, we've got jumping jacks next. Arms nice and rigid. Start out relatively slow if you're feeling a little tight or still not fully warmed up. But as you can, increase that speed of that jumping jack, keeping those arms nice and rigid, no bent elbows. Keep that shoulder contracted, shoulder blades down on your back. And let it relax. All right, we'll be right back to start into our first round of HIIT in just a second. All right, HIIT is going to be our first section. We're going to be doing our traditional Tabata of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We've got 6 different exercises to go through. We're going to do them in pairs of 2 in an AB format. All right, so let me get my timer started here. We're starting off with a high knee pause. Excuse me. So just going to do high knees and then pause on one side. 2, 1, and get it going. 3, 1, 2, 3. So on that third one, you're just going to bounce or hop on one leg to switch which knee comes up. So you're focusing on trying to get that knee up as high as you can, as well as moving quick. All right, let it relax. We're going to be doing pop squats next. Start with those feet nice and close together. Squat down, out, and pop it back and forth. If you want to do a little easier version, you can always do a half squat at the top, so you're not actually doing a second one. If you want it to be harder, you jump back and forth from a close squat to a wide squat. And let that one relax when you're starting back over. So doing those high knee pauses first. Try to speed it up or increase that range of motion. Keep those lungs open. Keep those feet moving quick. Remember, every third one, you do a double bounce. And let it relax. We're doing a pop squat again. Deep breath. Down the middle, pop it out. Back to the center for the harder version. For the easier version, we're just gonna pop and go right back down in that center squat. Land as softly as you can. Let it relax. All right, next exercises, we're doing a side lunge pop. So feet nice and wide. We're gonna start on your left leg. Bend that left knee and pop up to try to balance on that right leg without bending that right leg at all. Just nice and slow. Make sure you're under control. Don't feel like you're trying to, like you're gonna push yourself over too far, or you're limiting that range of motion. All right, you can do the same thing on the other side. So keep those feet nice and wide, bending your right knee this time. Pop up. Remember, you're trying to lift that leg just a little bit, as well as get that momentum to get yourself to kind of balance on that one side. Nice deep lunge off to the side, as low as is comfortable. Keep that back flat. All right, one more on each side. Deep breath, try to recover as best you can. Feet wide, left foot. Bend that knee and up. Keep those lungs open. Nice deep lunge on that side. Hard push, getting up to balance. All right, same thing on the other side. You got one more of these. Feet nice and wide. And down. Bending just that right knee this time. Try to absorb that shock as you drop back down as best you can by bending that knee really quickly and absorbing that drop. And let it relax. All right, got runners on your left and right side next. So we're gonna start with your left foot forward, right foot back. And you're just pumping that right leg. As that right leg comes up, your left arm comes up. As your right leg goes back, your right arm comes up. Keep those lungs open. Keep that left knee bent. Let it relax. We're gonna do the same thing. This time with your right forward, left leg back. And switch sides. So everything's exactly the same, just in reverse. So as that left knee comes up, that right arm goes back. And as that left leg goes back, your right arm comes out. All right. We're gonna do those same things over again. Left leg forward. And pump that right leg. Keep that back relatively flat. You don't want to round over quite a lot when you're doing this. Keep it relatively flat. Keep everything to that core nice and tight. And let it relax. Do the same thing on the other side. Let's stick with this side. We're right leg forward. And pump that left leg. Lungs open. Keeping that lunge on that right leg, that front leg. Moving that rear leg as quick as is comfortable. All right, that's the end of that one. We're gonna be back to start into our first group of strength training. So grab your dumbbells, grab a bench if you have one. If you don't worry about it. You can either do it laying down on the ground or use a chair or something like that for the exercises we're doing. I'll see you in just a second. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started with our strength section of this. We're gonna be doing each one of these for 45 seconds on, 10 seconds to rest. So go ahead and grab your weight. Our first one is going to be a chest press, so whatever you normally do for just a traditional chest press. And go ahead and start my timer here. Actually, I'm going to select my weight first. All right, starting on my timer. Like I said, 45 seconds. We're gonna have a 15-second break. If you have a bench, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, you can lay down on the ground for this just fine. Nice and slow out to the sides and press it right back up. Keep that speed under control. If you're wanting to go a little bit more for strength, slow that pace down a lot. Use a little heavier weight. If you're going a little bit more for toning, that pace can be a little bit faster. Use a little lighter weight, so you're trying to get in a few more repetitions. Just keep those lungs open, back flat on that mat. Nice slow controlled motion. Make sure you're going down the same speed that you're going back up. And let it relax. All right, we're gonna go to a kneeling row. Drop your weight a fair amount here. We're gonna do it one arm at a time. Start with my right arm, hand out to the side. Same exact motion, just in reverse is what we just did. So that elbow comes straight out to the side, pulling that weight out. You're using the bench to support yourself. If you don't have a bench, you can do this either just one hand on like a coffee table or a chair, as long as it's nice and sturdy. Just keep that back flat, no rotating through the shoulders. Same thing applies with this one. You want to go for a little more for strength. Use a little heavier weight, slow that motion down. If you want a little bit more toning, lighter weight, speed it up just a little bit. And let it relax. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So switch sides. Make sure that back is nice and flat. Actually feel like you're kind of arching just a little bit. And start up. Keep those lungs open. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Make sure you're using the same amount of weight, going the same speed you were on each side. And let that one relax. Go and drop that weight back. We're going to switch back over to chest press. Flat on your back again. Either on the ground or on a bench. Nice and slow out to the sides. Press it right back up. Nice and slow down again. Keep those lungs open. Don't hold your breath. Keep your core tight. Main thing is to keep those lungs open, but if you want to get your breathing into it, it's going to be inhale on the way down, exhale on the way back up. Almost done. And let it relax. Switching back to that single arm row. Lighten up just a little bit on this one. In that tripod position, arm out to the side, lead with that elbow, pulling it up and out. Remember, don't rotate those shoulders. You want to keep them parallel to the ground. There's about 10 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, same thing on the other side. All right, hand out to the side. Lead with that elbow again. Shoulders parallel to the ground. Try to keep those shoulders from rotating on you. Get a tight, tight squeeze towards that spine. Pull that arm up. Remember, lead with that elbow to try to really focus on that shoulder blade rather than trying to contract with your bicep. Less than 10 seconds. And let that relax. All right, that's the end of that strength section. So we're going to start back in here in just a second with the next hit, but we're going to take a little bit of a water break first. I'll see you in just a second for that next hit. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and start back into our second round of HIIT. 6 new exercises, but same format, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, AB, 2 exercises at a time. All right, let me get my timer started here. We are starting off with rocket squats. So remember, feet just about shoulder width apart, count on the way down, jump up. So, there we go, 3, 2, 1, and jump. 3, 2, 1, and jump. Just keep that same pace going. Keep that back nice and flat. and let it relax. Next one is going to be squat jack. So you're staying down in a squat, hopping your feet in and out. So squat down. You're gonna bounce those feet back and forth, trying to stay nice and low the entire time. Back flat, keep those lungs open. If you need to stand up and shake your legs out, by all means do it. 5 seconds left. Whew. That gets a good burn going. All right, we're doing rocket squats again. Feet about shoulder width apart. 3, 2, 1, jump. Oh. Ouch. Tried to give up a little early on that one. All right, squat jacks again. Might have to shake my legs out on this one, they're already burning. All right, squat down, keep those feet in, pop, back and forth. Go as quick as you can if your legs have it, otherwise a nice slow pop back and forth is fine, or you can even step them in and out to make it a little easier. It doesn't really help much. And let it relax. All right, next 2 exercises, starting off with lateral jumps. Try to recover. And start off to the side, just back and forth. Harder version is not letting that other foot touch down. If you need a little extra help with balance, feel free to let that toe touch. Lungs open, back and forth. Let it relax. All right, sumo squat with a side leg lift. We're alternating legs. Feet really nice and wide, toes pointed out. Squat down in the center, come up and lift a leg. Squat down in the center, other side, and lift. Try to keep it under control. That side leg lift shouldn't be a swing, it should be a contraction. Let it relax, all right. Lateral jumps again. Recover, big deep breaths. Start them up. Keep down nice and low, using that energy to move laterally rather than up and over. You want to stay down nice and low. And let it relax. All right, back to that sumo squat. Squat and side leg lift. Squat and opposite side leg lift. Just keep it going. And let it relax. All right, 2 HIIT exercises left. We got jumping lunges and walk downs. Start that lunge position, just alternate back and forth. If those legs start getting too tired on you, feel free to move it to a walking position, so you're just gonna step out and back up. Otherwise, that hardest version, keep that back straight up and down. Let it relax. Got walk downs next. So standing straight up and tall. Bend down like you're trying to touch those toes. Walk out with those hands. Full plank. And then back up. If you want to make it a little bit harder, do a push-up at the bottom. And back up to the top. All right, we've got those jumping lunges next. 1 more of each of these. Keep those lungs open. Whew, let it relax. All right, walk downs. Try to speed them up if you can. Squeeze one more in there. And let it relax. All right, take a short little break, grab your dumbbells, your bench. We'll do that last round of strength, then we have our cool down. All right, see you in just a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one round of strength left before our cool down. So let's go ahead and get that started. We're doing the same thing we did last time, new exercises, but format's the same, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 3 different exercises. And let me go ahead and get my timer started. We're starting off with an overhead press. You can do this either seated or standing. I'm going to demonstrate it seated. Hands up above those shoulders. You want to keep that wrist right above that elbow the entire time. Press straight up, back down. Slight bend in that lower back, but otherwise keep a neutral spine as best you can. No really arching that chest back towards the wall behind you. You want to make sure that those shoulders do all the work. Nice slow controlled motions. Ten seconds left. Like I said, you can do this standing just fine. You don't necessarily need to sit for it. Relax and set those weights back up. We're doing a single arm side pullover. So you're going to be laying on your side, either on the ground or on your bench. Wow. Hand right up above that shoulder. Nice and slow. Bring it over top of your head. Right back up over top of that shoulder. Those lungs open, keep those shoulders stacked one on top of the other. Try to keep that arm as straight as you can. I should probably be using a little less weight. I'm starting to give out already. Almost done. Try to push through it. And let that one relax. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So since I use that weight for my left arm, gotta try my best to match it with my right, which my right is a little bit stronger, so should be okay. All right, over my head, right back over top of that shoulder. Keep that elbow relatively straight. Slight bend is okay, but try to keep it as straight as you can. No severe bends. Keep those lungs open, shoulders stacked. Make sure you end with that wrist right above that shoulder. Yeah, definitely be using less weight on my next round. Almost done. Whew, let that relax. All right, grab those dumbbells again. We're doing that overhead press one more time. Drop my weight just a little bit for this one. So again, either seated or standing. Arms starting above that wrist, or excuse me, wrist above that elbow. Press those arms straight up. Back down, nice slow controlled motion. Whew. Wow, that burns. Try to keep going the best you can. We got 15 seconds left. Just gotta shake my arms out a little bit. Keep that form nice and clean as best you can. Whew. All right. So switching back to that pullover. Drop down a little more on that weight. Starting back over with that left arm. Over top that head, back over top that shoulder. Keep those shoulders stacked. So basically that left shoulder should be right on top of that right shoulder. No leaning forward or leaning back. Oh man, my muscles are giving out. They are burning. 10 seconds left. Get one more in there. Ouch. Oh, man, that tricep especially is just burning. All right, keep focusing. Let's get through that last one. This is our last exercise on this side. Either on the ground or on that bench, whichever's more comfortable. Hands stacked right above that shoulder. Shoulders stacked on top of each other. Drop that hand down, over top of your head, and back over top of that shoulder. Keep those lungs open. Lungs open, try not to hold your breath. As you get more and more tired, you're going to try to do it. Got less than 10 seconds. It's 5 seconds to go. Try to get one more in there. Ooh. And let it relax. Whew. All right. Put those dumbbells away. Make some room for yourself. We're going to come right back and finish up our cool down, and then we'll be done. I'll see you in just a second. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely got a nice sweat going. Hopefully you did too. So let's get our cool down done. 30 seconds each for one of these, or for each one of these. We're doing a toe touch, left over right, then right over left. So right foot locked out, left leg over top. You're just going to stretch down. If you're trying to do a toe touch, just make sure that right leg stays straight. Try to let everything relax as much as you can. Keep those lungs open. And switch sides, so that right leg over top of that left this time. If you can't touch the floor, that's fine. Just either press against your thigh or your shin. It doesn't matter how low you go as long as you're feeling a stretch. And let that relax. All right, we're doing an inside thigh stretch. So feet really nice and wide apart, and bend that left knee, lean back towards your right. If you want to, you can even put a hand on top of your head to get a little extra stretch to that torso. Main thing though is trying to focus on that right hip and pressing it down towards the ground. Not literally with your hand, but trying to just tilt. Should feel that stretch to the inside of that thigh. Same thing on the other side. So rotate, bend that right knee this time, lean back towards the left. Just pressing that hip down. 5 seconds left, then we're going to switch to a quad stretch. Stand back up. If you need extra help with balance, lean up against a wall or a piece of furniture or something like that. Otherwise, staying straight up and down. Right foot back into that right hand. Squeeze that heel to your butt and then pull that knee back behind you as best you can. Try to keep that balance. Like I said, if you need to, feel free to lean up against the wall. And same thing on the other side. Left foot back. Squeeze that heel to your butt as close as is comfortable on that knee. Then press that leg back behind you. Keep that torso straight up and down. Don't lean forward with it. You want to feel that stretch to the front of that thigh. Maybe even into the front of that hip. Try to keep your balance. Relax. We're doing a wall chest stretch, so fingers facing back behind you on open wall or door frame. Rotate away from that hand. Hand about shoulder height. Just keep trying to rotate that shoulder back. If you want a little more stretch on that forearm, just kind of step back on it a little bit more. And switch sides. Fingers facing back behind you. Rotate away from that wall. Again, if you want a little more stretch to that forearm, just kind of walk back on that arm just a little bit more. All right, arm cross stretch is our next one. So standing straight up and down, left arm comes across your chest, grab behind your elbow, kind of hook on behind your elbow, and pull that arm across in front of your chest, trying to squeeze it as close to your chest as you possibly can. You might feel a little stretch in that tricep, probably not. You might feel a little bit of stretch in that shoulder blade, maybe not, depending on how flexible those muscles are already. All right, same thing on the other sides. Switch arms, right arm comes across, grab behind that right elbow with your left hand, pull it in nice and close to your chest. Nice deep breath, just keep those lungs open. And let it relax. All right, guys, our warm-up, or excuse me, our cool down is done, which means this workout is complete. Good job, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.